Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have me douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I am your host, Mikey, and as always, ride with me, Shotgun. My boy Tommy, what's going on, brother?
What is going on, Mr. Mikey? Happy Friday, Bills Mafia. We have made it through the week, and you, my friend, have a 4-day weekend coming up, I know you are happy.
I do. I'll have some time to sit down and put together some of our slides for our upcoming positional breakdowns as we get ready to start heading into camp. So we got some people in the chat.
We do. Apparently, Scott has a new podcast coming out, 20-0.
20-0. I love you, Scott. You make me laugh, brother. You make me laugh. He also thinks we should bring back Singletary.
Yeah, as a joke, he said later. I saw.
Yeah, I know.
Real funny guy.
And it's not just that he loves Singletary. He loves all his Florida boys. You can't talk bad about any Florida person or Tommy gets upset.
Right. That's right. Except for Dan Marino. Though he was a very good quarterback, but not a fan.
Not from Florida.
You're right. Pittsburgh. He's from Pittsburgh. So from Florida, I guess you're right. Yeah. Touche.
That's why you can't talk bad about Dorsey.
Yeah, that's right. Bad. Or McGahee, even though McGahee shit on Buffalo on the way out.
I loved McGahee.
He did, but he didn't love Buffalo. He didn't have the same.
You know what's crazy about McGahee? Really, it goes back to Frank Gore. Frank Gore tore up his knee. Clint Porter stepped in and became a first-round pick.
Correct.
From
Washington, right? I think Washington, correct? Portis? I want to say he got drafted by Washington.
Didn't he start in Denver?
He played in Washington. I could be wrong, though. Okay.
You know what? He may have went to Washington and got traded to
Denver later on.
There was a trade between Denver and Washington. I can't remember who went what way. But anyways, then Gore comes back, balls out in spring, tears his other ACL, and then there's McGahee. And then Gore comes back and goes on to be one of the greatest running backs ever in the NFL.
I know. Wild, right? I mean, McGahee, even for him, though, for what he did was pretty unbelievable with the leg injury. People didn't think he'd play football ever again. That was probably that was one of the most disgusting injuries. And I've seen some pretty, bad ones, Mikey. But I don't know if I've ever seen a leg, just go to jello. You know what I mean? It literally was just flopping there. It was crazy. Yeah.
Super chat from Scott. Thank you, Scott.
Hey.
We appreciate you, brother. Cheers, brothers. Happy Independence Day. Appreciate your commitment to bring content. Yeah, it's something we love to do. Tommy's really been pushing the content out. Haven't got a chance to watch all of it as my day job turns into a night job half the time and it stops me from consuming a bunch of it. But so Tommy's been out there just putting content out left and right.
I got to say, it's been... I said the off seasons are tough, right, for us, Mikey. Off seasons are tough, to put content out. But I gotta say, even after the season ended, you still got the Super Bowl to talk about. You still got, the draft to talk. You do all the mock drafts, and you got the rookie minicamp. There's still stuff, but then this period right here where we're at, there's really not a lot. You gotta find the story and roll with it, regardless if you agree with it or not, because it's just, you know how it is, Mikey. There's just not a lot out there to talk on a weekly basis, and it is what it. So I gotta say, those national reporters or sports guys that do a show daily, I give them a lot of credit, even if they are a lot of them, crap talk and just BS talk, whatever, you know what I mean? But to come up with a topic, for 3 hours, because a lot of those shows are 2 to 3 hours, I got to give them credit. Yes, let's do it.
Talk about Diggs.
Let's do it for 2 hours.
little Diggs talk.
Can't get enough of that.
So one of the main things I want to talk about today, Tommy, and we talked a little bit about this offline, is we are 4.5 weeks away from camp reporting. We're 5 weeks away from camp really getting going.
Yeah, right? About 4 weeks.
Because they report at the end of July, then preseason games start in early August.
Yes, right? So August 12th, I believe, is the first preseason game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we thought we would go out and look at, we know we're going to do the rosters, like we're going to go position by positions in over the coming weeks. But figured today, let's take a look at, who's left out in the free agent market, who's still looking for work or sitting out there waiting. So I thought that maybe that's something we can do today. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about Stefon Diggs, as he is still a very polarizing topic, especially on the sports talk shows.
Yep.
Like people are now it's a personal issue between Diggs and Josh. Their bromance isn't there anymore.
See, I did a video on that. You got to watch that, because I that's where Scott was like, "Wait a minute," I'm like. But listen, I don't believe. I call BS on that. It's not the case. Me and you agree actually on that, which we don't agree a lot with this whole, what is really what we think. Now, mind you, this is just our opinion. It still can't be. It doesn't mean it's true. Maybe him and Josh do have beef, but I don't believe that. And neither does Mikey. I think it's all about the direction of the team and the coaching. That's, I think, is what is bugging Stefon Diggs, and I think everybody handled it wrong. And I even said in the video that you will watch, Mikey, because you love my content.
I will watch it.
What I think, and it was a big clue when Josh was asked about the whole Stefon Diggs at minicamp day one. He said it's a communication issue. He didn't say it's a communication issue with Diggs. He didn't say communication issue with Brandon Beane. He said it's a communication issue, I think, altogether. I think it's at a whole organization, right? Yeah. But I think that's also included with Diggs. I think I think everybody right there should have been. I think they should have talked way early on instead of letting it get to that point. And I think, you know what? I think it is over in a way. I still think I still am slightly worried, Mikey. Slightly, that if things don't go well early on or some point of the season, that Diggs could lash out again. And I just don't want friction building up between the coaching staff. Because you got to remember, too, Mikey, we got a brand new receivers coach. You're right. He loved Chad Hall. How will this connection be with the new receivers coach and Stefon Diggs? You know what I mean? Will they be on the same page? Will he know how to talk to Diggs like Chad Hall talked to Diggs when things weren't going right? You get what I mean? Because clearly, I don't know if Sean McDermott and Stefon Diggs have a really, it seems to me like they butted heads maybe early in the season or halfway during the season. And then when they had that meeting, they probably really butted head, Mikey. And that's why Sean came out and said it's concerning, because I think he was so worked up. And I got to hope that the new receiver coach and Stefon Diggs get on the same page, man. Because that's the one guy that'll calm him down, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if you watched it, but Joy Taylor, of all people, is the one that told everyone to relax on the whole Stefon Diggs thing.
Oh, wow. Surprising.
Joy Taylor, of all people.
Right.
Shady was defending more about what's going on. And then, Acho likes to just, crap on the Bills Mafia because he knows it triggers them and he gets clicks that way. But Joy Taylor's like, you know what? Can we all take a step back? They were 13-3 last year.
I know.
He had the second most receptions in all of football, or most targets in all of football last year. Can we calm down and take a step back and stop, burying the Buffalo Bills as this crap team?
We're just falling, right? Yeah, falling apart.
Bad game, and they lost in the Final Four.
And by the way, you don't think like we're the only team ever to have a good winning record and like lose in the playoffs? There's been so many teams that have started strong, had a good regular season, and just kind of finish. Go ahead, Mikey.
I love Scott. Scott came back in and said, I didn't listen to the podcast. I knee-jerk reacted to it, Tommy. Went back and now understand you called BS on it, and he does totally. So I did the one tip I'll give you, Tommy, and I think I told you this.
Yeah.
When you put that, throw the question mark in there.
I would have, but I'll admit, it's slight clickbait. Or
Called you on it.
Don't say anything.
Jason comes in and says, "Oh my God, I've smoked 10 cartons of Canadian wildfires."
Hey, I'm in Detroit, man. I'm in Detroit, dude. We're getting a lot of it because we're right here. I'm right downriver. Yeah. It's like I can see Canada. I mean, honestly, I can right over the river. So we're getting all that smoke, man.
Okay, but yeah, it was Joy Taylor who came in and calm the nerves. Like, can we just stop? Because they're like, oh, the Bills are third in the division now. It's going to be the Jets, and then it's going to be Miami, and then the Bills. The Bills on. Like, did you guys forget they went 13-3 last year, and we have a better roster this year than we did last year?
Right, and did you forget that? Did you look at the damn standings? Like, these teams weren't even close to our record. Yes, okay, they improved. Great, kudos. Okay, golf clap. Okay, but so did we, right? And we still, but so do we, and we still have a 13-3 team. We're still the 3-time AFC East champions in a row. We still got Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, stop it already. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Golly, it frustrates me. Go ahead.
It reminds me of what they did to KC 2 years ago when
KC was having that couple a little. Right, and Mahomes was throwing a couple interceptions, and all of a sudden,
when Mahomes lost the Burrow in the AFC Championship game, it was the end of them. It's the end of.
Oh, they did it with. They did it with Tampa, the Super Bowl run with Brady when they started off not so hot. Remember? Oh, okay, it's already bad with the coaching and him and whoever the old coach guy was. Remember?
Bruce
Yeah, they're not getting along. They go win Super Bowl. It's like, first of all, shut up. Like, you don't know. Like, just you know nothing. Like, if you don't, and you know what, too, Mikey, real quick. A lot of these analysts, a lot of these people that talk, they don't really watch Buffalo Bills football. No. They watch clips or they look at the box score and they just go, "Oh, Josh Allen threw 2 interceptions." Okay, did you see that Cole Beasley hit off his chest and ran and it popped off into the game? Yeah. No, you're just looking at box and go, "Oh, he must have had a bad game."
Yeah.
No, you didn't watch. Yeah. Did you see Josh Allen get blown up because our offensive line couldn't?
Why he was throwing and he fumbled? Oh, Josh Allen had 16 fumbles. Right. He had 16 fumbles. How many did he lose? He lost like 11 of them. And half of those were because he was getting drilled as he threw the ball.
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. That's why. Listen, man, if it was true and they were right, I would be the first guy, Mikey. Yeah. And you know me, I'm honest as honest could be. I'll tell you, man, I'm not like a homer fan. I'll say, hey, you know what I mean? They're right. Josh Allen's been careless with the ball, or Josh Allen shouldn't have thrown that. I've said it many a times. I've said that, but man, good Lord.
I did get them all jacked up with that one, didn't I? Sometimes I just like to, wind Tommy up and let him go.
Makes me mad, boy. It does. Frustrates the hell out of me.
Let's talk a little bit about players who are out there, Tommy.
Yep.
So I'm going to start with the receiver position, as everybody I've heard still is a little concerned about our receiver room, because if Diggs goes down, it becomes Davis is your one, and then a bunch of question marks behind that. We don't know what any of these guys are going to be.
Ton of question marks.
Question marks. So who's out on the market still? Like, because there's not a ton. Like, we can go look at all of who's out there, but we don't have a ton of spots for people. They'll have to be positioned.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, come in with another super chat. We appreciate you, Scott.
Man, Scott, you're on a roll. Thank you, brother.
What the impact of the League 20 season will have, because it might happen. What? Okay.
Hey, man, I said it last year. I ain't doing that this year.
Okay. What would happen if the Bills went 20-0? If we got to Say we went 17-0 in the regular season, we got in the playoffs.
Okay.
The media would be calling for us to lose every game after that. They're like, "There's no way that's going to happen."
They would
They're
find
They
would find a way. They would find a way to say they got lucky or something. They'd find a way to shit on us. Go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, so I do believe that if it actually happened, Scott, that it changes the game.
It would. There would be a lot of apologies given.
It changes the narratives. It changes the game. Going 20-0, like the Dolphins on this undefeated season, they were
72.
It was 16-0, right?
No, they didn't have 16 games back then.
14-0,
yeah,
right?
yeah, something like that.
Smaller playoffs.
Yeah, it was totally different. A little easier to go undefeated back in the. I mean, I'm not saying easy, but less games.
Bethel would freeze over and Buffalo would be untouched. That's what would happen. Yeah,
I gotta say though, not every, but if you look back at Super Bowl teams, Mikey, not all of them had like these unbelievable winning regular season records. Like some of them
got hot
were
at the right time.
Hot at the right time. So I don't like. At the end of the day, cool. I would obviously. That would be the greatest thing ever. You go undefeated, but I don't like. Look, I don't care. I just want to.
We have a rough schedule. We're not going undefeated.
Yeah. Now, by the way, it's so tough for me to pick against the Bills. So when we do the way too early schedule, more than likely I will predict
20-0.
Yeah, 17-0 because the regular season. But yes, because I just can't. I can't do it. It's so tough for me to.
I was pretty spot on. I had us going 13-4.
You were close.
Year, and we were 3.
You were close. You were closer to me.
However,
so 17-0.
The games we lost were not the ones I chose.
Well, not only that, let's be real. Let's I know that we're on this subject and we're talking something else real quick, but let's be totally honest here. The 3 losses were combined, what? 5 points?
8.
I think. 8? Okay. But not only that, all of them were winnable games, correct? Like every single one. Minnesota should have been a win. The Jets should have been a win. The Dolphins should have been a win. I know we lost 3, but we could have really, let's be real, been 17-0 last season if it wasn't for blunders. Because it wasn't like the Jets came in and kicked our ass. It wasn't like the Dolphins like just outperformed us and we had no shot. Or the Vikings just came to Buffalo and just destroyed. Like, all these games were games where we kind of fucked up. Like, we made the mistake. Yeah. It wasn't the other team. So, it was almost a 17.
Josh missed McKenzie wide open in the end zone. And then we had the late 4th down thing in that Dolphins game. And then the Josh fumbled in the end zone.
Don't remind me. Yeah, and the terrible pass at the end there to win it.
And then the Jets won. We just sucked.
8. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking 5, Jason. Yeah, the Jets was just. I just don't think we prepared right for them either. But that was a good defense, no doubt. But if you look at the second game against the Jets, Mikey, tough game. But we definitely, you could see the adjustments were made the second time around. You know what I mean? Even against the Dolphins, I still think if Tua played. Even the second time around, we still would have won because I think we made the right adjustments. I still don't think defensively we did. I think offensively we made the better adjustments. But defensively, I still think we played scared against better offenses, and we always do. That's the problem. That's why
you put out the defense class.
Yes, and it's in. I'm not saying the offense hasn't made mistakes, guys, but the defense. For as much as we thrown money at, invested in the draft, it's been very disappointing when the playoffs start. Very disappointing. There's like Mikey. Let's be real. When I did the video, I said even the wins. If you go back, not the Ravens. Count that game out. I just think we play Lamar. I think that the way we play our defense at zone worked perfect for Lamar, but. Against like the Colts, Mikey, if you go really date it back.
Yeah.
A team that we should have smoked at home, right? An old Rivers, right? But what did they have? They had a good offensive coordinator, right? And what's his name? Frank Reich, who absolutely came, and let's be real, he outcoached our Brian, Leslie Frazier and Sean McDermott. Absolutely. We barely squeaked away from that. They should not have been that close.
I
The
think
Dolphins game, same thing.
okay. The Dolphins
Go ahead,
game I'll
Mikey.
give you. The Colts game, I think it was our offense that struggled.
Oh,
Our
no,
defense
bro.
kept us in it. Go back and watch it.
Absolutely not. You have to go back and watch, Mikey.
I
The
did.
tight ends in that game were we never
We
adjusted
gave up
to the
like
tight ends.
13 points in the whole through the game.
What are you talking about? It was like 20 something. The game was like 27-23, 27-24. You better go back and look at that score, brother. 13 points. What? Whoa,
didn't give up that much.
1992 maybe. I don't know, bro.
Not much.
Yes, we did. And their tight ends, go look at their stats, guys. It was like 20. I think we won it was either late at the end where we wind up scoring a field goal. It was like 27-24. Their tight ends absolutely destroyed us. Every wide open. And the slowest guy in the world, I don't even know who this guy was, had like 100 and some yards receiving. So yes, trust me, it was bad. But yeah, look it up.
Had 21 for 78. Rivers had 309.
What was their tight ends?
I'm
Look at
going
their
to-
tight ends. Absolutely demolished us. We had no answer.
Jack Doyle had 7 for 70 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's 7 for 70.
Yeah, Jack Doyle. What was the score, though?
It was 27-24.
Right, 27-24.
And they scored 14 in the fourth quarter to get back
Yeah,
in.
unacceptable. That's what I'm saying. So if you don't think even the Houston game, Mikey, we were up 16-0 at one point. Even that was an epic collapse. Yes, I get it, Josh. The offense did terrible in the second half. I get that. But if you're talking, the reason why I say this, Mikey, is because this regular season defense, Mikey, has been phenomenal, right? Top five, right? Sean, like lights out. We're doing all the right things, right? Getting the playoffs against a decent or a good offense coordinator, it's like we go into we don't know what we're doing. It's like they outplay us every time they find a way to make the game close or win, right? The Dolphins, like you said, should have never, 31 points, third string quarterback. We should have smoked them. Why didn't you bring pressure against a young quarterback? You know what I mean? Like they're played so scared. Yeah, so I just don't. Like I said, I just feel like the defense when they get in the playoffs, Mikey, for as good as we are in the regular season, it doesn't match up in the playoffs. It just doesn't carry over
At all.
It needs to change. It has to change.
The defense, like let's just go back to the Kansas City game, right?
Yeah.
We were very complex defense then. We were sending blitzes and weird coverages, and
Yep.
but then when we got into the playoffs against the Dolphins, it was standard,
Soft
cover
zone,
three,
crap.
soft
Yeah.
zone. So we did the same thing against the Cincinnati, and Cincinnati just 1-2
Ate it up.
throw it out.
Yeah.
1-2,
They said,
throw it
okay,
out.
you're going to give us this. You're going to give us 5. You're going to give us 6. Never change. And you know what, too? And then I got a good point, too, on this whole Frazier thing. It's like, okay, if Leslie Frazier was the issue, and you want to go back all the way to 2018, 2017 even, right? So you want to go back 2017, then 2018, Sean McDermott, and it's publicly known, it's all over, that Sean McDermott took over play calling a few games from Leslie Frazier. And Leslie Frazier said, oh, I don't mind, right? I think he minded, but whatever. Right there should have been the clue that Sean McDermott and him were on two different, thinkings of the defense, right? Then you get all the way to 2021. Mind you, 2020 was a flop when we got doused by the Chiefs. Then 2021, 13 seconds. My point is this, Mikey. Right there, I think Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills should have went ahead and parted ways with Leslie Frazier. You know what I mean? Because if you're already having issues back in 2018 where you're having to take over play calling from a veteran, it's not like he's a new defensive coordinator, Mikey. It's a former coach, a defensive coordinator. You know what I mean? And you have to take over his position, then you should have gotten rid of him if he was the problem. You get what I'm saying? And then, of course, the whole story that came out now could be false, that McDermott took over the 13 seconds. That worries me a little bit, right? Because then who is really calling the plays in the playoffs? Who is really, in key moments, calling the plays? And I will say this too real quick, Mikey. It almost makes sense if he did, because if you go back in that game, right? The kickoff was a disaster right away. They didn't understand. It didn't get called in or right? So Was Sean McDermott already trying to take, and there was this miscommunication because he was trying to call it, but Leslie Frazier maybe thought, and you know what I mean? And it was just total disaster right from the beginning. Then you had the 13 seconds, right? So who was it? I have no idea. I'm going to say Frazier, but I don't know, Mikey.
Depends on if you want to listen to Lombardi. You listen
right.
to Lombardi.
I don't. I think I'm in the air with it, Mikey. You know why I'm in the air with it? Because he took over play calling before. Why would he not do it again in a key moment? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
why would he take over?
I'll tell you, if he took over that play calling for that key moment, that does not give me any good feelings for this season.
No, it scares the shit out of me.
But I also think, I truly believe this, and I've told you this before, I think part of that was that Levi Wallace played shit.
I know. No, I agree. But what's the excuse from last year against the Bengals?
Oh no, I don't have anything. I'm just talking about that one game.
No, I know, I get it, but I'm saying why wouldn't you adjust in that game at halftime? Like, why would you continue to play?
Why not send blitzes and play man-to-man,
right? And
try something different.
We didn't. We never. But Mikey, when do we do that? Like, when is a game where we
did that against KC earlier in the year. We played a lot of different defense.
We did. You're right. We switched it up
at Mahomes.
But regular season, I'm talking playoffs. When have we ever just gone out of our did a totally different, give them unique blitzes, and we just don't. We play very scared type football. I don't get it. 10%, I'm going 5%, baby. It's so slim right now.
Well,
he's still out there.
There's a running joke in the chat saying, "Okay, why Tommy's on his box, Mike? Here's a question for you." And then they're like, so I put it up, and they're like, "Okay, it's up. Where's the answer?" So I logged in and placed the answer, and then they said they
10%. So. Damn, I can't believe you're in 10.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because until he signs, there's still a chance.
There's always a chance. That's why I'm giving him 5.
Just let's look at it this way. If he's gonna take, any kind of minimum deal or a smaller deal,
yeah,
where he would probably want to play either for Mahomes or Allen. If he's gonna get paid more money, he'll go somewhere else. I truly believe if he's gonna take a smaller deal, it'll be for either the Bills or the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just think
and until he signs some, I don't truly believe that he's going to get the money that he's looking for. But who knows? Maybe
the Patriots are loading up because they just did something again today.
Yeah,
they just
another contract.
Yeah, but they did another extension for another player. Yeah, so I think it's very possible that they're freeing up money to make a signing. And I know I heard, did you hear that also that Cook got offered from the Dolphins, right? Or did we talk about that already last week? That Cook got an offer from the Dolphins.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Okay, so supposedly, there's rumors out there that Cook did get an offer already from
But it wasn't what he wanted.
Clearly not, because he's a free agent still. Right.
And it's funny because James Cook came out and said that he would love to play with his brother and wants to,
obviously. What brothers want it?
That
would be dope, but you know what though? I got me thinking, would Dalvin take the spotlight from his younger brother though? Because he would.
That's why I don't think he will do it.
Right.
Because James is in line for RB1. If Dalvin came in,
automatic,
they'd be splitting it.
I don't know. I think Dalvin would automatically take one. You may think that they may say that in the beginning.
I believe Dalvin would be RB1, but I believe that.
Oh, yeah, carry wise.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be split down the line, but I agree with you. I think James Cook would.
65,
I think James Cook
35.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, you're right. That's fair. But that's not split. But you're right. I agree.
RB1, RB2. I think Hines would then be on his way.
No, that would be. Listen, that would be epic. And if I was Dalvin, and I already had the money, and I get it, easier said than done. But it would be cool. And it would be an awesome story, especially if you won a Super Bowl and everything, the Cook brothers winning to get it. That's just cool in general. You could just say that for the rest of your life that me and my brother, exactly. That's pretty dope. You know what I mean? So Will it happen? Chances are another one that's super slim, Mikey. I'll go 10% on that 5%.
I don't know if Dalvin would come because he would take touches away from his brother.
Right. That's the only thing. Unless unless he's like, yo, James goes super young still, right? I'll only do it for like a year or two. Like, you know what I mean? I'll come here a year or two, and then I'll teach my brother and everything. You know what I mean? Like, set him up to be the man, and then I retire and go. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not. I'm just hypothetically thinking. It's probably not at all what they're thinking. But.
No, it is a possibility. Anything's a possibility. But with
anything's
D-Hop,
that's right.
D-Hop, it's until he signs, there's still a chance. What's cooking in Buffalo? I don't think anything. Honestly, personally, I don't think anything's cooking in Buffalo. I think they're going to take the roster that they have
quiet
and go see what's out there. I think we do trades to get rid of some of the guys, than more than us bringing guys in.
Yeah, that's usually what we're due.
I think Hardy Harris is built for this offense. I was watching the 2001 wildcard game against the Bears, and he was electric. Last year, he got hurt and lost Breeze, so he's my breakout player. Eric, I would love for us to use Hardy the way he's intended. I'd like to see us throw some bubble screens out to him, quick passes.
He's
get him out
fast,
space.
bro.
Throw some of those pop passes that McKenzie used to run. Get him. My concern, and Tommy knows this, is I've seen nothing from Dorsey that says he can be creative like that.
Okay,
I would like to see a year 2 Dorsey.
I agree somewhat with you. I'm going to stick up for my man because he's from the U. But so hear me out real quick. And I ain't gonna go on a soap. I'm not gonna go on a soapbox thing. But listen, like, let's be real, Mikey. Go back and look at that receiver room last year, and go back and look at the offensive line. Okay. That's my point. So, as a coordinator, let's say you're a coordinator. I'm just saying. Let's say it's you, and you got this team that's just underperforming, except for Stephon Diggs, right? We all know Diggs. Like, I'm leaving Diggs out of the conversation, but everybody else not doing too good, right? As an offensive coordinator, how really creative can you get, or do you dummy it down and you do just what you can to make the offense work with what you got? That's all I'm saying. So that's why, Mikey, I am giving him the benefit of the doubt year 1 under. Now, listen, there's no excuses now. Now, I will say this, though. We have, and we continue to say this, Mikey, the receiving room is still a question mark. So once again, can these guys step up unlike they did, like what the guys didn't do last year? Can these new guys that we brought in do what the guys didn't do last year, right? So Crowder, hurt, gone, right? So clearly he didn't step up because he wasn't on the field. McKenzie, who was supposed to step up, clearly didn't. Gabe Davis was supposed to have his first start as a second, number 2, didn't do what we expected, right? Did okay. I still don't think he did bad, but didn't do what we wanted, right? So can these guys all, do their job and do what we all think they can do? Like the Hardy, like Trent Sherfield, like Gabe Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I think you could start seeing Ken Dorsey go, hey, I'm going to do this. I think this guy will be perfect. He's reliable. You know what I mean? The offensive line's blocking better. Now we can do this. We can get Dawson Knox. Because even Dawson Knox was not used right last year. But how could you use him right, Mikey? How? He was a blocker. We needed the help in blocking.
Okay. I hear everything that you're saying. All I'm saying is from a scheme perspective. I agree. Have not seen him scheme anything. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
Until I see it, I don't.
I'm with you. I'm with you, but it's a year 2. Let's see what happens, man. I'm not going to dog him yet.
No, I'm not. And I wasn't trying to dog him.
No, I'm just saying. I haven't given up on him yet after 1 year, and we're in the number 2 scoring offense. Like, why would I automatically go, this guy's garbage, get him out of Buffalo? Like, a lot. I'm not saying you're saying that, but a lot of Bills Mafia is already writing him off, saying he's no good, get him out of town. I don't understand it when you're the number 2 scoring team. I get what they're in a way. I understand. Oh my God, the playoffs! But didn't everyone fail in the playoffs? Didn't Sean McDermott, who's in year 6 last year, fail many times? Didn't Leslie Frazier fail? Didn't Brian Dable, by the way, fail? Like, everybody did not do great job when it came to the playoffs. I'm just throwing that out there. All these coaches did bad. Not just one guy.
You don't have to stick up for the guy. It's okay.
I do, because I don't like when people take this microscope. They zoom in on one particular player or coach, and they go, and Mikey, it's just like Josh Allen. A lot of people are, oh, Josh Allen played like crap last year. Garbage. Look what he did in the playoff game. Crap. And all they're doing is taking a lens and they're zooming in on one guy and going, he's the problem. And I don't like that, because then you didn't watch the game. You don't understand it then. You're only focusing on one person. You're not looking back and going, okay, why did he play bad? Okay, well, here's why. Because I'll say firsthand, Josh Allen played bad, if that's the case. But everybody played bad. The offensive line didn't protect for him, right? Maybe that's the reason why he was scrambling around and played bad. Maybe the players didn't do their job, and that's why Ken Dorsey had a tough time calling plays. Just throwing that out there. It's not always just about one guy, Mikey. It's a team game.
I never said it was about one guy.
I didn't say you. I said Bills Mafia.
Okay.
A lot of Bills Mafia choose to zoom in, and I hate that.
Okay,
and
I guess I lost where you were going from that.
Yeah, that's a sport, by the way. That's just not Buffalo Bills. That's sports in general. On most team games, a lot of people will focus in on one person and get mad at him and say he's the reason why. And it bothers me, I guess, Okay. I don't know. It wouldn't matter, Mikey, even if our coordinator was John Mahomes down the street, I don't know, a new guy last year, I would still, it doesn't matter if it's Ken Dorsey, I would still give him a break and go, hey, it's first-year guy, we still were the number 2.
I think
you know what I mean?
We made the mistake. I think we made the mistake of turning it over to a first-year guy.
Possibly, but who also wanted that guy?
Yeah, our quarterback.
Who was
okay?
okay?
I was just saying when we're talking about the receiver, if he's used correctly, Eric, I absolutely agree. I think he could be electric in this offense. My only concern was I have yet to see them scheme anything under Dorsey, and maybe it's because the players weren't good enough last year. Dorsey couldn't scheme them.
Who was our fastest player last year on offense? Wide receiver.
McKenzie.
Okay. Can you rely on McKenzie? Last year was scheme for him.
We could have schemed him up into the.
I'm saying, who would you want, Hardy or McKenzie, now?
I want Hardy.
Okay, so let's see what happens with when he has a reliable guy.
I'm talking about scheme, when I'm talking about,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
the pop passes, the quick throws.
I agree. But isn't that also on Josh too? By the way, I saw some film today. I forget the guy's YouTube channel, Mikey. Did a great job. It was like he was talking about the Bills offense and Ken Dorsey, like what he likes to do. By the way, a ton of RPOs. Holy crap. Like that is like our main point of our offense is like
ton of hooks.
Holy crap, bro.
15 to 20 yards down.
Yeah, dude, it was, but I will say though, there's plays that Josh Allen totally did not go to a guy that was wide open. Underneath. Yeah, and that's not a Dorsey issue. Josh Allen is also responsible to see his guys. Mikey, he's wide open. He's going like this, literally wide open. You're going to force the ball.
So let me ask you
down
a question.
You got to go through your reads.
Yeah. So what read is that guy? That fourth guy or the guy underneath?
Either way, it doesn't matter if he's open. You got to go to your read, Mikey. We screamed of this a million times last year when Nyheim Hines wide open on the flat, and he chooses not to throw it to him. You know what it is? I'm telling you, Mikey. Right. Josh Allen
is the genius of all geniuses.
It's not a genius.
He never does anything wrong.
I didn't say that, but I'm saying I didn't say that. But Josh Allen is also responsible for seeing his checkdowns, taking what's the defense is given. Matter of fact, Josh Allen came out this year. Josh Allen came out this year in the offseason and said, "I need to do a better job with giving what the giving what the defense gives me, right? Like taking what the defense gives me." He admits that. He understands that. I'm sure he went back in the film room and said, I could do a better job at going, instead of chucking it downfield to Gabe Davis, I can get McKenzie right here who's wide open for 7 yards. You know what I'm saying? He admitted that. This isn't just me. Josh is responsible too. Your quarterback has to go through the reads. Your play could be one play, but if that play's not there, Josh is responsible to go to your second route, correct? Your second option or your third option. Or no?
Okay.
It's just he has to go with the first option all the time. You're saying?
Okay.
No, I'm asking you. Does Josh have to go to his first option every?
Where you got? I was talking about scheming something for Hardy, and you're talking about.
No,
Josh
I know that.
and-
But no, I said who was
I'm
our
lost in
fastest
what
player
you're talking
last year? Who was our fast player? You said McKenzie. Okay, and I said McKenzie. There's been games when I saw last year, when I saw a film breakdown where his guy's wide open, Josh decided not to throw to him. That how do you not how you lost in that? Josh could have. You had the opportunity to throw a guy wide open. You choose not to because you wanted to go through your first option instead of your third option, let's say. So I'm just saying Josh could do a better job at that as well. It's not just always on the coordinator. Why is that such a hard thing to
You're defending someone that doesn't need to be defended, Tommy.
Okay, I'm just asking you. I'm just saying there. So let's say hypothetically he calls a play this year coming up, and Hardy's wide open, and we're watching the game, and he chooses not to go to Hardy in the middle.
If it's schemed for Hardy to get the ball,
But
that's
let's say it's
option
not
one.
scheme. But okay, let's say option one's Diggs. Why do you have to go to option one all the time? Why, if option one's covered? Okay, so that's my point.
Okay, I get your point, but you're missing my point. When I
What's
talk
your point?
about scheming, where did the
I get what you're saying.
pass
Have
go?
him involved. Like he's the number one option
No,
in the
not-
play.
not
I
even
get that.
It's getting creative on offense instead of running.
I get it.
3 of the 5, 20 yards downfield. Let's run 3 of them within 15 yards and run them pop passes.
But
and
maybe that
screens
couldn't.
and-
Maybe the player personnel could not do that last year. That's all I'm
we
saying.
did pop pass. We did it every year.
We could have. You're right. We could.
can-
Maybe. I don't know. I know that he dropped a ton of passes. I know Gabe Davis was a 53.5 catch percentage. You know? Okay.
All I'm
Well-
saying is I haven't seen him get creative and scheme things up. That's all I was saying.
Well, let's see what happens year 2. And I will be first to tell you if he doesn't get creative with the players he has here, then I will be first to say that yes, maybe we need to move on from coordinators.
Oh, Jason comes in with a great one. The only time they really focused on the short passes was in 2021 when Beasley had that really good year.
Yes, the
And then-
975. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Because everything was really short, and then we hit them over the top. We started that way last year and went away from
We
it.
did against the Rams and the Titans.
Yeah, and then we went away from it and started getting really greedy. And I think that was a Josh and a Dorsey greedy thing. I don't think it was just one. I think it was both of them.
I think they like. I agree with that. By the way, I think Josh and Dorsey have a little greed thing there where they just want to go deep and make the home run play almost every single
because
time. I agree.
Dorsey had that in college as well. He loved it.
Yeah,
Loved it.
of course.
He
also had unbelievable talent around him.
we're getting along.
No,
It's all love here. I just didn't understand where Tommy was going with it because it was completely off topic of what I was talking about.
I always go down a little alley.
You go down a rabbit hole? You?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
anyways, let's get into the who's left
All right. Let's see. What we're on offense.
on offense. So we're
All
looking
right.
at wide receivers because that's where we started with is that wide receiver room. D Hop, Kenny Galladay, Julio, Byron Pringle, Jarvis Landry, Neil Harry, Sammy
Hey,
Watkins,
Andre. Two former
Joe
Bills
Roberts.
right there. Sammy.
Kumaro. Yeah, so I mean, T.Y. Hilton's still out there.
Yeah, he was actually pretty good last year. I'm not going to lie.
Callaway just got
wasn't bad.
released. That's why he's still out there. He got in trouble and got released. So there's still some names out there of guys.
Stay away from Sammy. Stay away from N'Keal Harry. Stay away from Andre Roberts. I mean,
Julio.
those three. Stay away from Julio. Yeah, you can see he's aged. Obviously, Hopkins. Galladay's interesting, kind of. I like Landry a lot, but I don't know if Buffalo would be his ideal spot because the history here. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if
not even just
he would
history.
come here good.
I'm just thinking about the position he plays. He's more of a
That's
inside
true.
guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we have a team full of inside guys. If we get another guy, we need
No, we
someone
do.
to play the outside.
Kumero's interesting.
Do not
just
bring
to
that guy back.
Well, I mean, listen.
I still.
I mean, but I'm not saying for. Well, you're right. Maybe for special. I don't know. I have a feeling.
Who would you rather have, Justin Shorter or Kumaro?
Well, Shorter because I think he could have potentially. I guess you're right. I was just thinking on a special team because and like that he's been good while he was here in Buffalo as far as special teams go. But if you're talking receiver as far as like actually getting playing time as for on offense, there's only a few here, man. Hopkins, Landry. Go down a little bit. Pringle, yeah, go down a little bit more, and I would say, God, that's not a lot here. Go down more. T.Y. Hilton would be interesting because he is still, he's still at speed, bro. Yeah, so maybe 3 or 4 guys there on that list, Mikey, that I would be. Obviously, Hopkins number 1, and if I had another, Galladay is interesting too, man. A veteran. It's not bad. Sure. Yeah, he's been hurt, but he's sure-handed when he's healthy. He's not a bad receiver. And Landry is a dog too out there. But like you said, I don't know if he would fit in with when we got so many guys that can
Okay.
He would be taken away.
Let's go to O line. I don't think we'll sign any O linemen because I think we are pretty good.
I think we're filled for the first time, man. Yeah, with depth.
But who's out there? Taylor Lewan's still out there, although he has a knee problem and can't pass a physical. Rodney Hudson, George Fant.
He needs to think about retiring. He's had a good career.
Roger Saffold.
Your boy there he is, Roger. My God, by the way, watching some of these, I was telling you I was watching some of the plays or whatever. Saffold would get blown up so much, Mikey. If you go back and watch, I mean, my God, it was so bad. Like I forgot how bad he was. Like just getting blown up, bro. And he's a big guy, bro. He was just getting drove back like it was nothing or whiffed. Like the guy would just go right past them, bro. And my God, dude. And then Allen would have to escape right away. Yeah, he was not good last year. Saffold was just bad. Another guy needs to think about retiring. And he had a great career. Nothing wrong with it. It happens, bro.
Yeah. Trey Turner, Jesse Davis, Eric Fisher, who was bad when we saw him last in Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a whole lot out there.
Mm-mm.
Yikes.
Hey, Tynaseki, I saw.
Yeah.
He was okay when he was with us for a little bit.
On defense, there's some edges still out there, although I don't think we're going to sign any more edges.
No, I think that's it, Mikey.
Robert Quinn's still out there.
Clowney always trying to get robbing teams. Continuing to rob teams, yeah.
Yeah. Golston.
Wow, Ingram's still available. I'm surprised. Man, I would have liked him. He still has speed, man.
Mario Addison's still out there. Carlos Dunlap.
Wow, Mario.
Trey Flowers. Like, there's still...
no, there's some decent... JPP, look at that, man. Yeah. There's still some, decent, vets, man, that still have a little fuel in the tank, man.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I bet you all those guys are waiting for camp to see something.
They're waiting for camp. They're waiting for injuries to happen. Possibly some of these guys don't even get signed until midway through the season. When players are going down, getting hurt, or preseason when players get hurt. You know how that goes.
Or they could follow the Lindell Joseph and Ndamukong Suh. They waited until mid-year and then signed.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they could do that. Yeah, exactly.
Because defensive tackles, there's Shelby Harris, Michael Brockers, Suh, Joseph.
God, Suh's so old, but I still think he's so mean, bro. Like he's not a bad. Listen. He's still playing pretty decent for his age. Like that dude is a mean motherfucker. Like
he is.
You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't even mind him just to have him just for that nastiness, as a rotational guy. You know what I mean? Depending on what he would want, but not a bad player to have in, honestly. Yeah. Here's your linebackers, okay?
Linebackers: Zach Cunningham, Deion Jones, Miles Jack.
Yep.
Melvin Ingram's considered an outside linebacker. Damian Wilson, Kyle Van Noy,
Anthony Barr. Wow, man, I forgot
Anthony
about
Barr.
him.
Yeah,
He's aging up there too.
Anthony Barr is the the poster on Josh Allen's first leap.
I know. He was the bro. He was a beast when he was in his prime, bro.
He was really good. He's one of the best outside backers in football.
Yep.
You know, then you got John Bostic, Jared Davis. You know, so there's still some out there. I don't know if any of them are better than what we have in house, though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Miles Jack is interesting to me, but I know. I just, man, I don't know, man. Linebacker's another question mark. I got to be honest with you, man. I got to be real with you.
They
We'll
seem
see.
like they're pretty content.
I know. And I am almost thinking, man, maybe McDermott, maybe he likes a smaller type of linebacker and Dorian Williams, and maybe he will bring that blitz. Maybe he just likes that better. You know, I don't know. Maybe he's going that route with a smaller linebacker.
I hope Dorian Williams wins the job. I really do.
I do too. But
because he's 6'2", 230, so he has more size. He has really long arms. He's not a run stuffer, but he's really good in pass coverage, and he really fast, so he can chase things down.
Right.
You know, so I'd like to see how that plays off. My biggest fear is it's going to be Bernard, and I don't trust him after watching him last year. But who knows? Maybe he got better. Nothing I saw last year gives me any hope that he's going to be. The Klein
thing is like, I don't know. Klein. I mean, I just think they
AJ
almost
Klein in the middle.
It's like, I mean, nothing wrong with Klein, but it's like, dude, it's almost seems like here we go again with the McDermott guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's always the one guy McDermott for some reason has to have back on the fucking roster. And it's like AJ Klein is like turning into one of these guys where it's like we continue to have him. And it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, he's not terrible, but goddamn, dude, like.
Yeah, Scott, our team is pretty set. 2 coverage linebackers. And actually we have, probably I'd say 2, because I think Williams and Milano are the 2 coverage linebackers. I think Dodson's more of a balanced linebacker. And then we have Bernard, who's more of a blitz linebacker than anything.
Yep.
You know, but who knows if we see Bernard out there, maybe we're going to be blitzing our linebackers more often this year.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I love whenever we brung the blitzes with the linebacker blitz class, we always seem to. It always seems to work. It just seems like we didn't do it enough. Like, I don't understand. Whenever Milano came in, whenever Edmonds, and it would get the listen. They may not always get home, but the quarterback would either throw the ball away or check it down. Yeah, like I just, man, I feel like, man, I hope McDermott. Like under McDermott, he shows a little bit more exotic blitzes than Frazier did, because Frazier really didn't really throw that many exotic blitzes out, man. So we'll see with McDermott. I know he's more aggressive. I get it. So maybe that's his thinking on the linebacker position. Maybe that's why, he drafted Williams. We'll see.
Yeah. Corner, Byron Jones, who actually has a knee injury and may never play again. But then there's Marcus Peters, William Jackson,
quality vet.
Yeah. Bradley Roby,
Darby. Wow,
Casey
man.
Hayward.
Bring back Darby, huh? Eli Apple. Get the hell out of here.
Kyle Fuller, PJ Williams, Bryce Callahan. So a lot of guys that, Jason Verrett, a lot of guys who were good. You know, who are solid vets. I don't think our cornerback room needs anybody.
No, but there's some decent.
There's famous for his prevent defense.
Oh yes, in soft zone. Yes, loves it.
I do agree, Chris. Our secondary is pretty stacked. I don't think we're going there, but we're just looking at who's out there.
I don't think so either. Yeah, we're just going through everybody, just because there's a lot of quality free agents out there. And by the way, these are good to look at because you never know what's going to happen in camp and preseason. Yep. Injuries happen, so you need to know who's out there in case this happens. And we all know what happened last year. Mm-hmm. Like, injuries happen a lot. Look at our rookies.
I wish we would have had this option last year for safeties. who's out there at safety with all the injuries we
Mhm.
had.
Oh
Josh
my God.
Johnson,
Mhm.
Devin McCourty retired, but Marcus Joyner, I would
Yep.
have taken either one of those guys last year.
Yep.
Just, oh,
Yeah, we were scrambling last year.
yeah. I mean, we were playing, practice squad safeties at the end.
I know, because we had no choice.
Yeah.
There's nobody out there.
Andrew Adams. So there's not a ton of great safeties out there, but there's a few still out there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, Tommy, that's kind of who's out there currently.
You want to go to
running
yeah.
back?
Yeah.
No, to
Well, running
back.
back, I don't think they're getting a run.
Those-
Now we
Julius-
know Dalvin Cook.
Liam
Yeah,
Hunt's still sitting out there.
I'm surprised on now Elliott. I'm not because Elliott has already. He's just. I think Elliott's one of those
He's good,
running
though.
backs. He's good, but I think right. But I just think now he's still thinking he's the guy and he wants that money, and he has to come to a realization that he's just not that guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, be perfect for short down, like you said. But I just don't know if he's willing. You know who he's like? He reminds me of kind of like Clowney. So Clowney grades himself a little bit better than what he actually is.
I think that's Fournette.
Fournette? Okay. I
Yeah,
like Fournette
yeah.
too, though. I do like Fournette, though.
I put Fournette
But
in
I-
the Clowney mold.
Yeah, but out of this list, though, if I were to had to, obviously Cook would be my first option, but Hunt is right up there, bro.
He's
Hunt
one
is a
two.
solid player. He's a
He's
solid.
1B. Cook would be 1A.
Yeah.
Hunt would be 1B.
I mean, Hunt is he still has good speed. He's powerful. He's a good back, man. He's a good
I
pass
didn't-
catcher.
I
Go
didn't
ahead.
even think about this. Eric V says, I bet you McKissick is pissed that he didn't come here last year.
Yeah, what
What
a
he
bad
pulled
mistake,
out.
huh, JD?
Yeah,
Stupid.
what a bad mistake.
Yep. Hey, that's on you. Mark Ingram. I can't believe he's still even playing. God. They're out forever, that dude.
Bernard still playing. Taiwan Jones.
Man, Bernard.
Darrell Williams.
He was supposed to be the man in Cincinnati for a while, remember?
Yeah.
Golly, man.
Royce Freeman. He was supposed to be, he was drafted by.
But the
Denver.
thing is, we have so many running back. I'll be honest, we have a lot right now in the room. That's why I put the thumbnail, because we'll talk about it real quick before we get off here. But we have quite a bit of running backs right now.
We do.
So if they pick up a running back,
One of
you
them's
would
gotta
assume, automatically, it would almost be one of those getting cut right away. You can't have all those backs if you pick up another back. But, yeah, I mean, right there, I would say 2 or 3 guys that would be interesting if they were to add them on the running back,
Then here's your quarterbacks that are out on the market.
All right, let's get Brady. Fuck it. Let's go ahead and
No
get there.
way. Go watch
How's
your
Tom
mouth
Brady?
soap.
I know,
for
right?
that.
How's Tom Brady even on this list? Why is he even there?
Technically, he's without a team.
Is he retired though?
Yeah. Yeah. Carson Wentz,
Oh my
Matt
god.
Ryan, Flacco.
Carson Wentz, what a disaster, man. His career's been, huh? Bridgewater, a guy that should retire. He's breaking in like that dude's breaking everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Foles, another guy that was a guy that's just been a disaster.
That's fine.
But he won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
To his
Daniel's
credit.
been one of those legendary backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, but we have a young Allen. What was it, Kyle Allen? I think his name is
Yep.
Kyle. So, yeah. Let's hope we never have to see him on the field.
Right.
You know?
So, anyways, that's kind of who's out there still, Tommy. So, I mean, there's still some guys, but where there's a lot of guys I'd like to see is we don't have a lot of room for those. We already have positions
No.
completely full.
Yeah. I mean, we're listen, I got to give Brandon Bean credit for the offseason, Mike. I think he did a very good job with depth. Now, not a lot of like starting talent, you guys that we picked up, except for maybe McGovern. But man, depth wise, I think he
Floyd,
did
Puna, Ford,
did
they're both starters.
he did an excellent job finding guys that can contribute, right?
Rotate.
Step in right away, rotational guys, right? Step in if an injury happens, and we won't be like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, I have to admit, this is one of his better off seasons, especially with the limited amount of resources he had with money. He did a lot. He did a very good job. Now, of course, this has to go into the season, right? Like, once again, it looks great on paper, but it has to. These guys need to step up when it counts.
Yeah, so spin. I agree. I think the only worthwhile addition would be D-Hop. Other than us grabbing one like Yannick or another pass rusher, and us getting off both Boogie and AJ. Because
Or Cook. Or Cook. You could put Cook in that mix.
Yeah, you put Cook in that mix. But
And Hunt. I would even throw Hunt on there, honestly. Yeah,
unless it was one of those type of guys, I agree with you. There's no point in bringing somebody else in.
I agree. Unless there's an injury.
Like and
God forbid, knock on wood.
Yep. Yeah. Scott Blakely comes in and says he would like to see Kyle Allen every game because we're up by 30 going into the fourth.
Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah, every game up by 30. We're just this unbelievable offense. Right.
We're that year the Patriots.
I would hope so. Listen, I hope so too. I really do. I hope that all these guys. Now the problem is though, if all these guys ball out, there is a problem. A lot of these guys are 1-year deals. So, once again, they won't be sticking around long. So if they all ball out.
Yeah, you see this one?
Good.
I'd rather have Hunt than Murray.
Of course. Yeah. I'd rather have Hunt than, no offense, than Harris. I mean, let's be real here. I'll take Hunt over Harris and Murray all day of the week. Any day. I wouldn't even think twice about it. Because Harris, once again, and I was talking about the running back room before we go, Mikey, but the running back room also is a huge question mark. Let's be real here. Or question the receivers. We can question the running backs just as much. Running back room is listen, you got Cook, who's coming in his second year. Right? Mm-hmm. You got Murray, who's an aging vet. I mean, he played okay last year. He didn't have a bad game again. And you got Harris, who can't stay healthy. And then you got Nyheim Hines, he's more of a special team, kick returner, gadget kind of guy. So, yeah, the running back room, I would say, is kind of a question mark right now. Because let's say Harris goes down. What do you do? What if you cut Murray and you keep Harris, and then Harris goes down like he's been known to do? Then what do you do? Now you don't have a short yardage back anymore because you got rid of Murray. Right? And then you're too late on getting Kareem Hunt because maybe he's picked up by now. So I don't know, man. I would take Hunt all day, any day, over the two that we have right now behind Cook. I think if he would come in here for a reasonable, 1-2 year deal, I think it would be perfect. And then you go ahead and I would cut Murray, keep Harris, see how Harris works out in the preseason. But Hunt would ideally be the guy that you would want. And not only that, he's been pretty much healthy his career. A couple injuries here and there, but for the most part, he's done way better than Harris track record wise.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm with Jason on this one.
They have to. I think they have to. I think with the new kick return rule, especially, Mikey, I think you got to take that 4. It sucks for him. I feel bad for him. Maybe he gets picked up by another team. Maybe we put him on I don't know, but I just think, what are you going to use him for? Like, honestly.
And I don't know if we cut him. I think we could trade him.
Yeah, you might be right. He could be worth something, a draft pick or something. I can see that. You're right. You are right. And Bean is very good at getting something for guys that he's planning on cutting anyway. So very, very possible. You're right. I didn't even think about the trade part. There's a couple guys, Mikey, that I think Brandon Bean could actually trade and get something for, some kind of value that is just not going to make the team. Yeah. Because we have a lot of depth. Not everyone's going to be able to make the team. So, interesting, man. This year's going to be very interesting. I'm very curious how the cuts go, Mikey.
I like the stable of Cook, Harris, Murray. Yeah, I mean that's probably what the stable's going to be. I don't think Hines is going to be on this team. I really don't.
I like it too. I just don't. I'm so concerned with Harris. I am super concerned with Harris.
I do think we're going to keep Gilliam. I think Gilliam's going to be our fullback / H-back.
Yep. And I actually think they don't use Gilliam enough as fullback. I think Gilliam should be used more. When he's used, Gilliam actually is productive when they use him correctly. but they don't really go to him. You don't use him much.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would be a perfect guy to go help out, in blocking situations for Josh, for short yardage, for blocking for Cook. They just don't do it much. Very rarely do they use him as a fullback. Go ahead, Mikey.
Spen comes in and says he doesn't see how it hurts Hines because he always returns it when it's kicked in the end zone. I think what hurts Hines is having Hardy on the roster.
Exactly.
Because Hardy's an all-pro punt returner. And Hines last year did both kick and punt. So that's why I think that hurts him more than the new rule hurts him.
Right.
And
why have both? And by the way, most kickers too, my Spin, are kicking out of the end zone now, or way so far deep that most of these kickers kick returners are not returning kicks. I mean, if you look at that, a lot of guys don't. A few times. It wasn't like crazy though. The majority of kick returns now are kickoffs are kicked out of the end zone, Mikey, or back of the end zone. You know what I mean? And if they're kicked off short, let's say the 1. I mean, most special teams coaches are probably gonna, or even at the 5, 7, they're gonna probably say fair catch it. You're gonna go automatically to 25 now. You know what I mean? No matter what. So
that's gonna hurt our special teams. And as Spen says, that's gonna hurt our special teams more than it'll hurt them. And yeah, Spen, I know that it affects the kickoff rules, not the punt rules. But if we truly aren't going to be returning them, are you going to pay $4 million for a kick returner only? Right. If he's not going to be the punt returner, and he's not going to get a ton of looks in the offense, you're paying $4 million for a kick returner.
Right. Like I was all on board with when Roberts was around because we had a problem with punt returns. We couldn't get anybody to.
I was right, and with him being both kick and punt returner, Hines last year.
Oh, me too.
But now we brought in an all-pro returner in Hardy.
There's no sense of having. Yeah, I totally agree, and he's good at it. He's really good at it. So I agree with you. We'll see. I'm telling you, camp and preseason will be very interesting. The battles and injuries. Let's see what happens. Maybe Harris stays healthy. I worry about that, Mikey. Anything else, dude?
No, I don't got nothing. I think we're good.
All right. Real quick, guys. Next weekend, I'm doing a video with Curtis where we're doing AFC East video breakdowns of last year. So AFC East games. So if you don't know Curtis, Ace Per Head, we're going to do one video on my channel, one video on Ace Per Head, and we're going to be breaking down the games. So the first game is going to be Buffalo versus Miami Week 3, the meltdown game. So if you guys want to tune in, I'll be uploading that video. Actually, it won't be live, so I'll be uploading the video probably the following week sometime. So look for that video on both channels. And then me and Mikey will be returning on Mondays on July 10th, I think we said. If I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong on that date? July 10th?
I think you're right.
Okay. So Mondays we'll be back on, July 10th. So we'll be on Mondays and Fridays. And other than that, I think that's all I got for you guys, man. Mikey, any last words?
Nope. Appreciate you coming in, Gilly the Kid.
Oh, a Niners fan. This is different.
That's my
first time we've had a Niners fan in here. I appreciate you popping on, man.
And I agree with you, Scotty.
Hey, I hope to see you in the Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be a great Super Bowl.
Oh, Jason, knock on wood. Don't put that out in the
no, that dude.
Okay,
he was like glass Joe.
Bills are gonna.
You got that backwards, buddy. You got that backwards. That you clearly you need to go back and watch the football. I know you're a Niners fan, but you know that's not happening.
It's been great. So now we got to deal with you twice as much per week. Yep.
You better believe it.
We're back to the twice a week. So
twice a week.
We'll see you guys next Friday. Have a good 4th of July. Everyone be safe and go Bills.
Bills Mafia, love you. Go Bills. Peace out. Peace.